I moved on after wife says I want a divorce and I want to date other people. Last year, my wife came to me after 19 years of marriage and 3 kids and said that she wanted a divorce and to date other people all in the same sentence. We have definitely had our ups and downs, but other than saying she wasn't happy from time to time and then acting like we had a great relationship in between times, classic roller coaster, she dropped that bomb on me with no escalation. Turns out, she was pursuing her dentist who was involved with doing major work on her teeth over several years. Because she said she wanted to date other people, my spidey sense kicked in and I was able to find out what was going on. She was definitely the one in pursuit. She was telling him that we were already separated for quite some time when she asked for the divorce. I called the dentist and told him to stand down. I was then tossed from the family home. We started counseling again and she was very clear that she was standing her ground. Then we broke the kids' hearts. That was brutal. I moved out shortly afterwards. In my pain, I went on some online dating sites and started up a conversation with a woman that I found very interesting. We kept it over text for a couple of months and eventually met and started dating. Throughout this whole time, my STBX never hinted at anything related to trying to reconcile or that she even missed me. She went out and did some things, positive in nature. That she claimed she couldn't do well with me, not true. Focused on losing weight. She eventually got plastic surgery. Was out dating and in at least one instance was intimate with someone. One day while picking up the kids, she snooped my phone and saw an "I love you" text from the woman I was dating. She lost her shit and immediately started acting like she was a jilted wife wronged by her cheating husband. She sent hundreds of texts, made videos of her crying, threw a bunch of my stuff out on the street and texted me the picture of it, etc. She then started stalking my every move and eventually went through phone records calling every number until she got a hold of the woman I is dating and just laid into her. Now she is saying if it wasn't for this woman, we might have been able to fix the marriage, etc. I feel like she is changing the narrative to help her cope with her feelings. Personally, I think it's her ego that is what is hurt. I feel this is manipulative and hurtful. Be careful. She might be doing this and using this as a way to blame you for circumstances of divorce, in order to gain spousal support and custody plus child support that goes along with it. Do not allow her to change the narrative. She might try to alienate you from the kids by telling them the separation was all your fault or calling you a cheater. So she wants to have sex with her dentist and move on with her life, but she doesn't want you to move on with yours? So she can move on but you can't basically. Let the alarm bells ring. I think it's good you got out while you could. Heart. The way you put this, it sounds like she wanted to fuck about for like 8 mallions then get back, but seeing you move on and not chase after her has made her insane. Threaten her with police, file a restraining order. What she is doing is quite abusive and hurtful. Just tell her the ship has sailed and bye Felicia. She sounds crazy. So basically she wanted to live the single life and fuck who she wanted while you remained her plan B. And you were supposed to be good with it because she's just that fucking awesome. Go no contact except for kids and divorce logistics. First, how does she snoop on your phone? Why did even leave your pocket or not be secured with a pin she doesn't know? That needs to be fixed. You don't share a phone plan. Nothing. Second, fuck her feelings. Yes, she's being manipulative and hurtful. If it comes to it, you should block her number and limit communication to only when you're coordinating kid care. How to move on after being cheated on. I feel like such an a-hole right now, but it's complicated. I, am 27, came home from work, on my wife's birthday, with a bunch of flowers, a gift and a card for my wife, F26. I went to go get ready for our dinner reservations and as I come out of the shower I see my wife sobbing her eyes out. She's read the message I've wrote in the card and says that she's really sorry and just begs me to forgive her. At this point I'm just trying to comfort her, telling her everything will be okay and that she needs to talk to me. After she calmed down a little, she tells me that she cheated on me the week before at a work event. I, completely shattered and heartbroken, left and spent the night at my friend's house. Needless to say, I didn't sleep a blink and nor did she, going by the amount of messages and calls I received. I decided to go home and talk to her the following night. She told me exactly what happened, how sorry she is and how she doesn't want it to be the end for us. I also didn't want to end the relationship. I love this woman more than life itself, she is my world. We had a long talk. I told her how I also don't want to end our relationship, but I am hurting and I won't be able to be all normal around her until I finally move on from what happened. She said that she understands and is willing to do anything to save our relationship. The past week has been tough. She's tried to be a loving, caring wife but I've put her down, unintentionally, and I know it's upsetting her. She will make my favorite meals but I just don't have the stomach to eat. She's been trying to hug, kiss me but I just turn away. She's been trying to make small talk but I just can't reciprocate. This really hit high tonight when I came home from the gym and she had dinner ready. I told her I wasn't hungry and went to go shower. Whilst I was coming down the stairs to get my laptop, I see her through the doorway crying. As soon as she heard me approaching she quickly wiped off her tears. I asked her if she's okay, she just smiled and said she's fine. I'm sat in bed right now feeling like absolute shit. I know she's hurting from me being like this but I just can't stop thinking of what she did. Too long did not read. My wife admitted to cheating on me. We are now both trying to move past it but are finding it extremely difficult. I humbly suggest you go be by yourself or with family, friends for a while, 2 weeks per month, and take some therapy, until you can come to terms with your current situation. I don't think you can just play house, pretending you can actually get back to normal. As for your wife, she needs counseling too, and perhaps you explain you need time alone and she needs patience with you. If she really is sorry she will wait while you try to heal. I don't think you are an ass here. This is not something easy to overcome. And her trying to love bomb you is not gonna make you forget the huge break in trust that was her fault. Honestly, you should spend some time apart. If you have the opportunity to live with someone else for a while, do that, or as her if she could move out temporarily. Living together RN is not the best idea. Then you should evaluate if this is something you can truly get over. Put your feelings aside for a moment. In 5 years, if you had a child, what would your thoughts be? Would a part of you suspect the child not being yours? Can you imagine trusting her 100%? All you guys need space and therapy together. And you need to figure out if you can forgive her truly. She cheated on you. Let's say you eventually forgive her, accept the fact, and everything goes back to normal. She now knows that she can get away with fucking another man. Do you think she's gonna pass? She didn't without even knowing if she'd get away with it. Move on and find someone else. You're 27. There's plenty of life left to find someone that truly loves you and won't cheat on you. Seems like she did it pretty casually and didn't feel bad for a week since you had no signs. I'm betting there is another bombshell coming. And she told you to control the narrative. So stand by for another blow. I've never, ever, seen someone cheat once and then go back to being faithful if the relationship continued. But God, it would be really nice to see that at least once. To be honest, I would reconsider staying with her. If she cheated on you at your best, what makes you think that she will wait for you to recover while you are at your worst? She is already upset after a week. If you really want to stay, maybe go to marriage counseling, but be aware of the Esther Perel kind of therapists that will try to put the blame on you. You are not at fault and your wife has to put in at least 90% of the work here. She cheated on you and she's sorry. Both of those don't mix. You need to move on, brother. If she truly loved you, she wouldn't have ever done that. Simple. While divorce might be out, I would at least get away from her for a little bit. Being around her cannot be healthy for your relationship. On a really non-romantic topic, I would ask her for a full STD test. Nothing wrong on making sure her little tryst didn't leave anything behind for you to find out. Everyone messes up, but this isn't a fuck up. This is a full-on betrayal of your trust. You need to contact a lawyer and file for divorce immediately. She fucked it. You cannot let this woman walk all over you. Respect the fact she told you, but she did what she did, and you cannot let it slide. My girlfriend has shaved her hair, gained weight and changed her pronouns. IDK what to do. Had to make a new account because she follows me on my main. But basically the title. This is gonna make me sound really shallow, I guess, and it makes me feel terrible, but I'm just not attracted to her anymore. We started dating in 2019 and back then she had long blonde hair. She wasn't fat, nor super skinny, but just right, and we got along well. But in like late 2020 she started gaining weight and she's gained like 25 pounds since then. A few months ago she has also shaved her hair. Now her hair is literally just very short, the boring type of haircut a lot of guys have. And she's changed her pronouns to they, she, and identifies as non-binary now. Maybe I could try to get on board with the non-binary thing, but her appearance has changed so much, and even though I try to still be attracted to her, I'm just not. She has also changed in other ways, I mean personality-wise. IDK what it is, but she's different now. I don't know if I should break up with her or try to work out my feelings about her. Plus I don't think I could break up with her without hurting her feelings. I don't know if that's possible. I feel so bad just thinking about it. I don't know what to do. BTW, we're both 23, IDK if that matters, but yeah. Edit. Since some people have missed it, she identifies as both, they and she. They, she. Edit 2. Thanks everyone for the great advice. I'll definitely think it through, but I will probably break up with her. But I feel a little better about it now. Breaking up isn't about avoiding sadness. It's the end of an adventure together. They have to hurt. Breakups are difficult, but they still are necessary. Just break up with her. You don't need to feel bad about it. You aren't judging her, but the person you were attracted to is gone. There is no need to give her a list of everything you don't like. Just tell her it's not working for you anymore. You're wasting her time if you're dating her but you aren't attracted to her. Let her find someone who is. The entire point of dating is to see if you're compatible. No shame in learning you're not actually compatible. They were a different person when your relationship began. With all the lockdowns we've had the past couple years, people have been discovering truer versions of themselves, and unfortunately you just aren't compatible anymore. It sucks, but you can't worry about their feelings right now. You have to figure out what's best for you and follow through with it. Just try not to be a dick in the process. End it. People change and you don't like this result, no reason for you to try and force it. People change. Sometimes that growth pulls you further apart rather than closer together. That person doesn't exist anymore. There's no need to feel bad about it. Things change. People change. Now you have to decide if that's really what you want for your life in a long term. You aren't attracted to them anymore. It isn't wrong, on the contrary, it's quite natural. You mention you are concerned about breaking up with them without hurting their feelings. You can't worry about that, you can't control that. Nothing you are feeling is in the wrong. Continuing in a relationship you aren't committed to is wrong. Boyfriend gets mad at men asking me out. For context, I, F19, have been dating my boyfriend, M18, for almost 3 months. I work part-time at a tabletop game store and we have a lot of regulars who come in to play D&D in the back. Well, there is this group of more than 10 regulars who come in every Sunday and Monday. Out of this group about 4 of them have asked me out and/or for my number. Each time I have politely refused, stating that I have a boyfriend. When I tell my boyfriend about these interactions he gets really mad at the guys and states how there is no way they don't know I'm taken, seeing as he visits me at work often and he feels like after telling the first couple of guys it should have gotten around. He wants to come in to have a chat with this group to tell them to back off. But I'm uncomfortable with this because they are technically customers and this is my place of work. When I tell my boyfriend this, he gets upset with me and takes his anger out on me. Any advice on what to do would be really appreciated at this point. Edit. I talked with him about it. He ended up apologizing for being territorial, and said that while obviously he still hates that it happening, he needs to learn to not care so much about stuff like this, and I apologized as well for not doing anything to help the situation, so all is good. You're going to lose your job if he does that. Tell him if he starts acting up or speaking to any customers about you, it's over. Just stop telling him that they're hitting on you. All people who are simply saying, "Don't tell him," are wrong, and it will simply drive a wedge between your relationship. And the people insulting the guy are assholes. First think of if when you say you don't want him to confront them, do you sound like you're defending the guys at your work at all? More than likely something is setting him off. Why would you tell your boyfriend every time a guy asks you out? It's not okay he gets angry at you. Try the words, "I am not standing for that," and end the visit or interaction if he even thinks about talking to you in that way. Have some boundaries. TBH, I'd just start wearing a very big fake wedding ring or something. Maybe that would make them stop. I think you like the attention from the guys playing D&D, and the negative attention from your BF. Pretty simple solutions for both. Tell these people to stop hitting on you. Stop telling your boyfriend someone hit on you. As a female these things happen often. I've been hit on, but I do not go home and tell my husband, "Hey, some guy in the checkout line was making conversation and trying to get my number." It's pointless, unless I wanted to see him get annoyed. All you have to do is say, "Thanks, but I'm not single." If they keep on, then you need to let them know you're gonna talk to a manager. Chris Rock said it best. Every time a man is nice to you, he's offering D. It's not actually true, but given the chance, there are an awful lot of men who will jump. If I told my significant other every time I got hit on, he would point blank ask if I was trying to make him jealous. It doesn't necessarily feel good to imagine the person you love being hit on when you're not around. Imagine he was being hit on at work and came home and told you about it. However, it happens, but grown-ups just politely decline and move on about their day. Running home to tell their significant other just brings up a whole lot of ugly 99/100 times.